Well, hello there, everybody. What's up? Nice to see you again. My name is Andrew Hochradel, as you can see right here. Hi, it's me. You can follow online at just hoch.co, H-O-C-H-D-O-T-C-O, no punctuation. And I will be your guide for the next day. Oh, it's our last challenge together. But thankfully, we will be on Creative Replay, so we'll be hanging out the next 2 weeks as well. If you're watching this on Creative Replay, hello. I hope you enjoyed the holiday special. There is a finale to the holiday special coming up today at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, only if you're watching on replay. I like to do plugs for the future. So nice to see you all here. Lots of friends hanging out in chat. But I do want you in chat, but of course, I want you somewhere else as well. And that is right here, bit.ly/AI Discord. That is the place to be. We are going to be hanging out and we are going to be answering your questions today live. We come on live, do some voice chat. So you can come into here. Oh, this is the wrong, hold on. Hold, please. I got y'all. Hold on. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. All right, here we go. You guys are going to see behind the scenes for a second. Wait for it. Here we are with something broken. There's nothing better than showing that Adobe Live is in fact live. There we go. So I want you all to come right here. And this is our Discord. This is the place to be. And yes, everyone's looking at my desktop. I've got fun stuff on there, whatever. So this is the place to be. This is where I want you to go. Again, that Discord is bit.ly/AI Discord, and scroll all the way down to the bottom and click on Hangout click on Live Stage Event. There's 5 of you in there already. I want to see a bunch of you hanging out in that live event stage. That will be the place that we will be talking. We'll be answering your questions at the end of the stream today. So go there right now, hang out, turn on the audio. I'm muted in there, and let's answer some questions for you today. The other place that you can get involved is by going to behance.net/challenge/Illustrator to get your source files, as well as check in with past challenges. If you have missed anything today, we are working with artistic effects and images. We're really going to be focusing a lot on effects, and I'll show you how to apply those to images, but we're going to be going through a bunch of effects today, which is going to be super fun. So with that, go join the Discord, get into that voice channel, and let's hop into Adobe Illustrator. All right, we're here in Adobe Illustrator, and today we are talking about effects, how to make effects, how to apply effects to existing images. And of course, let's read our prompt and then get started. So today, learn the basics of working with images and effects, including how to add effects and apply brush strokes, then use these new skills to add an effect to an existing image. Look at these existing images I've given you. These are just some fun badges. I like to think of yard sale. I don't know. For some reason, yard sale badges are super fun. So we're going to create these, and look at this. We're done. We're done with the first one. Look at that. Let's check it off the list. Good job, everyone. You're doing great. The first one is done, and that is a shape with no effect. It's important. But the reason I wanted to put this here is so that we can select this shape and then come over to our effects panel. Now, the effects panel right here has all of our effects. It says appearance when you hover over it, but this is where the effects will live. And you can see that there are no effects applied to this shape. We can only see the stroke and the fill. And the fill is that yellow color. The stroke is not there. So this appearance panel right above my head will give you all the information that you need to know about what is happening to that shape. Everything we're doing today is going to be augmenting a shape, not necessarily changing it. So we'll be able to see what augmentations are happening here in the appearance panel. Now, let's go and jump into some effects. This is where it gets fun. Let's go ahead and click on zigzag. Now, sorry, click on this circle in the zigzag box. Now, you want to always have the object selected that you are going to be working with. So we're going to select this circle right here, and then we're going to go to Effect and go to Distort. There it is. And then click on Zigzag. Now, watch what happens. Ooh, fun, right? So zigzag is basically going to go up and down. If we did this on a straight line, it would just go up and down in a zigzag pattern. But we have a setting here that is telling us what's actually happening. Rides per segment. And a ride is basically a line going in one direction. So here we have 4 rides per segment, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is connecting to this next segment. So this area right here is one segment. This is one segment. So it's anywhere from an anchor point to an anchor point. We'll have 4 rides. We can say the size of those, which is how far those rides go out. So maybe we want it to be 20 pixels. You'll be able to see that now those rides are going 20 pixels up and 20 pixels down. So this is a great way to make a starburst. And right now we have it set to the points going on a corner. If we wanted to make it a little bit less pointy, we could change this to smooth, and it's going to smooth those out to create a really fun, smooth badge shape. And let's take this down to 5 to just make it, let's take it to 15. Let's take it to 10. There we go. I like that pretty well. So we're going to hit OK. And now we've got a nice little zigzag effect that we have applied to this circle, right? To give it a little bit of extra zazz or zigzags, and not have to really augment that much and not have to work with the pen tool to create those. So here you can see in our appearance panel, now we have the zigzag effect that is applied to this circle. If we want to change it, let's say we do want to go back to the pointy, all you have to do is click on the appearance panel right here, and then click on zigzag, and then change this to corner, and it will change it for us. We can upload this to 30. Wow, that's a pretty big pump. And let's do a bunch. So let's go back down to 20 and then do a bunch of rides per segment. Let's do 20. And there we go. So you can create a really fun badge using that effect, and you can augment it in the appearance panel. All right, let's continue on. And today we're literally just showing you what all these do. So I want to see how you can get creative, what you can create with these, but I want to go through and show you what all of them do. So next we are going to go to Effect and then Distort and Transform. And then we're going to go to Pucker and Bloat, right? And this is exactly, I like to think about this as eating a sour food versus eating a spicy food, right? When you eat something sour, you kind of pucker up, right? And it pulls everything in. When you eat something that is spicy, you go, and you bloat out, right? So just think about that, spicy versus sour. And we'll start with pucker, which is sour. So we'll click on Distort and Transform, and then go to Pucker and Bloat. And here you can go either way. So we're going to go to Pucker and go in, and you can see there what it's doing is it's taking the anchor points and it's just sucking them in, right? It's puckering them in. So we're going to hit OK here. And then we have a nice little diamond shape, and let's scale that down using the scale tool. And now we've got an awesome little diamond shape using the pucker tool. So we can bring this in. Maybe we want it to be less, so just something really casual, and that looks great. It's going to pull in all of the rides or line segments that you have. So next up is the bloat tool, which is the complete opposite, obviously. We're going to go to Distort and Transform and go to bloat. And this is going to make it go, it's going to, push all of those lines out. And you can see that it's pushing them pretty far. So it's each line segment is getting bloated and pushed out. So I usually use this, especially with a circle, very, very sparingly. We can get some cool kind of 70s vibes if we keep going here and create a nice little pattern and just hit OK there. So you can see between the two, it is doing the exact opposite, right? It is pushing this line either there we go. It is pushing this line either in, or on bloat, it's pushing it all the way out. Now, continuing on, let's talk about Roughen. This is one that you need to remember, that you need to use in your designs. Roughen is such a great tool. If you're using Roughen or you have an illustration that is maybe really complex, it is the easiest thing to make it look like it's printed, to make it look like it's unique, like it's got some texture on it using Roughen. So we're going to select our circle here using the selection tool, or just V. Go to Effect, Distort and Transform, and then Roughen. Now, the thing with Roughen is that the settings are really sensitive. So we're going to go to Roughen, and you can see that it got really crazy. And what Roughen does is it is basically going to take your path and then go up and down on that path, right? Like you're scribbling on it to get a nice little edge. You can do the corner, which it is now, or you can do smooth, which is going to smooth out those edges. Now, detail is going to be 10 per inch. That's going to give us how many little elements are happening. Let's bring this down to maybe 2. And you can see there that it's doing 2 elements in between. So this is a great way to get splotches, to get little weird ridges, and to make things look a little bit wonky. Now, the size. The size is what's crazy. I have pretty much never used any size above 1% of Roughen. So with Roughen, you want to go into the point percents. So let's do 0.25%. And you can see there, you can barely see it, but it's there. It's got a little bit of edge. And what I like to do is take the detail up, and you can see now we're getting that really nice wiggly edge. So it's not quite enough. Let's go up to 0.5. There we go. And you can see that we have that nice little edge happening, and it's giving us that little wonky stamp look. That's what we want. So let's turn this off so we can see it. Look at that. So it's giving us that rough edge by just using that Roughen tool. Again, if we want to change it, we can click on this, go to Roughen, and then if we wanted to, we could go to 0.75 even. There we go, bring it up a little bit, and maybe we want the detail to be a lot lower, so it just becomes a nice little blob. So this is a great way to augment your type. If you want to, I'll show you down here real quick. If we want to go to Effect, Distort, Transform, Roughen, this is a great way to get type that looks like it is fully custom. So we're going to do that. Come down here. Oh, we set it to the wrong thing, so I can change it over here to smooth. Ooh, real wonky. And let's do some more detail there. Yeah, sure. So it's given that effect to the type, and now you have this really cool jiggly wiggly rough type. So easy way to do that. Let's talk about a drop shadow. Drop shadows really help to create some distance and dimension on your designs. And the way to do a drop shadow is to go to Effect and then go to Stylize. And Stylize is going to have all that stuff that makes it look a little more real if you're going for that realistic look. We can turn on the drop shadow by just clicking on Stylize and Drop Shadow. And from there, boom, you see, we got it. The mode is really important. Usually you want this set to multiply because it's a shadow, but you also could set it to normal and it probably will look okay as well. The opacity is going to be how much you can see that. So for now, we're going to set it at 50. And the offset is how far to the bottom and the right that it's going. So if we set this to 20, now it's going 20 to the right and then 20, 20 to the bottom. I actually want this at 5 and 5, just really subtle. And then the blur is going to be how much of that distance happens. So we're going to set this to 10 so that it's got a nice little blur on it. And I maybe even want this at like 20%. So we're going to hit OK. Oh, you also can change the color of this. Usually you just want it to be black. So we're going to hit OK and check that out. Now we've got a nice little shadow, and you can see between the two of these, this has a little more dimension to it. Now the next is an inner glow, and that's a great way to bring things in to give them some almost bubbly dimension. We're going to go to Effect, Stylize, and Inner Glow. And from here, we're going to change the inner glow to just a darker version of what we have. So we have this kind of yellow color. Let's bring it in to a little bit of a darker yellow color. Sure. Let's hit OK. And the preview's there. All right, it's not looking like anything, so we're going to increase the blur here. We're going to set this to 20. There we go. Now you can see it. We'll actually set this to 50. And you can see now that it's giving us a little bit of that highlight, right? A little bit of that extra on the edge, and it starts to look like a sphere. So here's where you can play around with different blending modes. We can do the dark and then multiply it down to really get that good blend, and maybe set this to 30% so it looks like it's got a little bit more of a glow to it. So there we go. That's the inner glow. It's great for using on the edges. If we set it to something like 10, it will give you that nice little edge so it feels like it is glowing, like it has some dimension. So that's looking good. That's the inner glow. The last one I want to show you is Twist. And Twist is really fun. Let's go to Effect and let's go to Warp. And then let's go to Twist. Let's do the twist. Sorry. And from here with the Twist, we are going to select, oh, why are we not here? What's going on here, Twist? Warp, Twist. Why are we not, oh, is that why we're not twisting? Why are we not twisting here? There we go. Let's do that. All right, let's make it a diamond, and that's what's happening with the twist. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that twist off, and we'll rotate using the rotate tool, R, and then we will make it into a diamond. Not sure why it's not twisting the other way, but let's go to Effect, Warp, and Twist. And check that out. It is basically taking it and twisting each of those points. So if we take this all the way up, it's going to get that nice ninja star, and it will go the other way. It looks like it's dancing if you just go back and forth. So Twist is actually a really great way to make peppermint. I know that we're going into the holidays. So if you want to get crazy, make a polygon that is just a triangle. So we're going to grab this and bring it down to 3 sides, right? Let's rotate it so it's pointed down. There we go. And then we're going to make a bunch of copies by just rotating this. So we're going to rotate and make a bunch of copies all the way around. And we're just using transform again there. And then we can select all these and watch this. We're going to group them and go to warp and go to twist. And look at that. We got a nice little peppermint pattern. So nice little peppermint twist using that. Again, a bunch of triangles, super easy to create. So what I want to see is go ahead and play around with all these effects and see what you can create. Maybe make a set of badges, change the colors, make them all kinds of crazy by applying effects. Try to apply multiple effects to the same thing and stack them. And that could be super fun. All right, we are going to hop over into our Discord right here, bit.ly/AI Discord, and we are going to be answering all of your questions. I know that we have a question literally right off the bat that we're going to jump right into. And where do you find Bloat and other tools in the toolbar real quick? Let's go ahead and check that. And if you want to, you can come on by raising your hand right here in the live event stage. Just click on that button down at the bottom to raise your hand. So we have two questions. The first is, where do you find Bloat and other tools in the toolbar? And the next is going to be the 3D type that we'll do real quick. So bloat is just up here in effects, and then we go to distort and transform, and pucker and bloat. So pucker and bloat are together. So it's effects, distort and transform, pucker and bloat right there. So those are together. All right, the next one we wanted to do is 3D type. We'll do that real quick. I'm just gonna say hello, and we will put this in whatever font I have available quickly. Sure, let's do Agenda Black. So we're just going to type out right here, hello, hello, little Mrs. Doubtfire for you. We're going to type out hello. I'm going to make it this fun yellow color. And then we're going to select this and go to effects and then 3D and materials. Now this is new. It is all new. And we're just going to go to extrude and bevel. And watch what happens here. Boom, we've got some 3D type. It's really that easy. And we can select a bunch of different settings here, like the depth, if we want it to be a little bit thicker. We also can add a bevel. We can add all kinds of shadows, and it does stay live. If we wanted to, we could inflate it so that we get bubbly type. That's looking crazy. That's fun though. So why not? We'll do that. We can extrude right there, and then we can change the lighting if we want to be top left. We can diffuse it, or we can hit it straight from the right to get some really nice intensity. So there's a ton of stuff to learn here with 3D with 3D type, but it's very, very easy. All you have to do is select whatever your shape is. And even if we want to take one of these, we can literally grab this shape that we have here and then apply our extrude and bevel to it. And now we have a 3D version of that badge. So if you wanted to, you can play around with this and really figure out how you want your badges to look, stack some effects. It is just a matter of going to effect, 3D and materials, and then clicking extrude bevel. So play around with that. Excuse me. It's a little bit of a different workflow, and we'll cover it in a future challenge, but someone had asked, so we definitely wanted to cover that there. All right, anyone has a question, go ahead and raise your hand. I'm going to pop in the Discord so you guys can hear me in there. Hi, Discord. I know that my audio is very different, so it might be louder in here. If you want to ask a question, anyone in Discord, hi, go ahead and just raise your hand here and we can ask your question. Now, it is not just about today. It is about any of the challenges that we have done over the past few weeks. This is our last challenge, so it's your last chance to ask questions here live on air. Go ahead and raise your hand if you have any questions about effects, about anything that we have covered. If not, go ahead and type them in stage chat as well. You can do it right up here. So if I see a raised hand, we'll bring you on air. If not, I'm going to keep showing you different things. All right. So how would you add an extra artboard to transfer shapes to work on? That was actually our challenge yesterday, was to make extra artboards. So let's go ahead and show you that. And yes, for viewers present the entire 9-day challenge, it was a bit rudimentary, although all of us could honestly state that we did learn something. Yes, that's what we wanted. We wanted you to learn something. We wanted to be super base level so it's accessible for everyone, but that we all learned something new. And what kind of effects can we place on layers? Oh, let's do that. Let's do layers real quick. We've got about 5 minutes. So check this out. Let's say that we have a layer that is going to be these three. So I'm going to select these three and I'm going to make a new layer right here. We're going to send these to the layer. So we're going to go to arrange, send to current layer. This is combining a bunch of things. So with that, we have these on their own layer. Now, if we want to apply an effect to all of these, we can simply click on this little dot here. That will select everything, right? And then we'll go to Effect, Stylize, and maybe we want to do, let's do the Roughen on it. So Distort and Transform and then Roughen. It's going to apply that to the layer. So it'll apply that to all of the pieces of that layer. So let's put this at 0.5, and that actually looks pretty good. Let's do a smooth, and let's hit OK. So all you need to do is have everything on the layer, and from there you can click on this little circle and it will apply that effect to everything on that layer. And look at how great Roughen works to just give you that nice little printed vibe. So super fun. You can stack those. You can do whatever you want. And what's nice is you can select this layer here and go to your appearance panel. And you can see that now we have, let's go ahead and select that layer again. Boom. You see that we have the Roughen applied to that layer. Everything on that layer now has Roughen attached to it. Super, super fun. So let's go ahead and hop back into Discord. There was a raised hand that I saw. Let's bring them on. Merviper. Hello, Merviper. How are you? Welcome to the show. I sent you a request to come on to ask your question. I think that you may be the last question of this session. So go ahead and hit that accept on your microphone, and then you can come on and ask a question. We do have another question happening over in chat. Can we change the bullet styles in Illustrator? Circle bullet to a skirt. Yes, Josie, there is a way. I don't think I have time to show that today, but we will cover it in the future. And I know that there are great tutorials online from Adobe Live to search. So check it out on YouTube. And hello, Merviper. What's up?
Hi, Andrew. Enjoyed the all these last 2 weeks. Got a quick question on removing a tool from the 3D perspective, because I keep hitting it accidentally, and I don't know how to turn it off, and B, I want to just take it out of the toolbar entirely and hide it.
Oh, are you doing you're probably hitting perspective grid, right?
Yeah, exactly. I literally want to remove both of them.
Okay, so perspective grid is right over here for those of you that are watching. If you click on it, it's going to bring up, let's go ahead and zoom out. It's going to bring up this perspective grid that you can see here. The way to turn off perspective grid is to go to View and then Perspective Grid, which is right down here underneath Smart Guides, and then click on Hide Grid. You also can hit Shift Control L and it will turn it off. I don't think that you can remove it from the toolbar, but if you do click on it, super easy, Control Shift L, or you can go to View and right underneath Smart Guides, you can hide that grid. That is the #1 hotkey that I hit, and I turn it on and I'm like, what's happening? Why can't I turn it off? So I'm right there with you. Did that work for you, Merviper?
Okay.
Yes, we did it.
Thank you.
We did it. Thank you. All right, that's what this is for, to ask those questions that I'm sure literally every person who's ever used Illustrator has had that same question. That is the one. It took me forever to figure out how to turn that on and off. Perspective Grid is actually a really useful tool if you're working in perspective. It's like super, super good, but I don't work in perspective very often. And what kind of effects can you apply? There's pretty much all of it, and the grid is problematic. It gets pretty crazy. It gets pretty crazy in there. Let's go ahead and show you one more effect that I like to use, and that is the grain effects. So we're going to select all these, and why not? Let's go ahead and apply some grain to this layer. We're going to go to our layer and just select that layer right there. And we're going to go to Effect. And then we're going to come down here, and these are raster effects, which means they're not vector. They make it so that you would have to, you can't really print them. You could print them, but it makes it so that it's raster. It's not vector anymore. So we can go to grain, and we're going to add in a little bit of grain here. Ooh, really intense. And then let's bring that contrast. There we go. And we can change kind of different kinds of grain, maybe some soft grain. That looks good. And then we're going to zoom in and check that out. Look at that grain that we got on these. So super fun way to play around. And again, get that nice papery texture. I love getting that paper texture. So in effects, this top section where it says Illustrator effects, those are all vector. If you come down to Photoshop effects, those are raster. And you can see that it's gotten a little bit of pixelation because they are raster effects. So from a distance, they look great. As you zoom in, you can see that they're pixels now instead of vectors, which go back to where we started on our challenges. So that is all we have time for. Thanks so much for joining me. Thanks for everyone in Discord. Thanks for asking your questions, for coming on. Thanks for the past 2 weeks. It's going to be an incredible time, and I will see you another time for another set of daily creative challenges. And if you're hanging out and watching the replay, thanks for watching the Adobe Live Holiday Special. If not, come back in a couple weeks because we got a holiday special coming. I'll see you guys later. I'll see you for the holiday special. Bye.